at the guided reading table with six six-year-olds, trying to squeeze 25 minutes of instruction into a 15-minute window, cramming in all the elements I've been advised to include breakneck speed. I look up, try to correct a child across the room, lean in to listen to the little reader in front of me, tap the table to get this one back on task. Oh, a notification comes in for an after-school event. Do I have that book for the next group? Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, honey, I said no. No, come on, back on task. Go ahead, I'm listening. All the while wondering, why can these kids not sustain focus? And then, huge, ugly realization. I am modeling distraction for them. I've come to realize that the teaching profession started to feel something like this. Parent communication, committee work, completing paperwork, lesson planning, designing assessments, data input, organizing that grade level project. It feels impossible because it is. You're simply not capable of holding and facilitating that many things. You will drop the ball, and chances are you'll have little control over which one it is. And you definitely won't be ready for any curveballs thrown at you. If we're only capable of holding so many, why not intentionally choose the ones we will and won't pick up? Less. I come to you today having recently taken a pretty radical step away from the traditional model of education in search of a different way that heralds less and slower. I also come to you today admittedly still struggling with my own addiction to productivity and efficiency. However, I have first-hand realizations to share, hoping to see less and slow be how we help our students grow. Neuroscientists at Wake Forest University have discovered that our brains are actually not capable of multitasking. They discovered that when we multitask, we are not, in fact, doing two things at once, but rather rapidly switching from one thing to the other. In this task toggling, we become less able to rest our focus on one thing for very long. We become less accurate and, ironically, less productive. If we live this way long enough, it leads to frazzled, shallow, fleeting focus. And divided attention is felt. It's felt by those we're with. Gabor Mate made the claim in his book, Scattered Minds, that instead of children suffering from attention deficit today, the real issue is attunement deficit. Are we attuned to so very many things that we're never fully attuned to those in front of us? A therapist friend of mine makes it a habit of asking her child clients, what would you change about your family? Clients of all ages and genders respond the same. More time together. To which she asks the following question, well, what gets in the way of that? The response, I just wish my mom would put her phone away, or my dad always keeps one headphone in his ear. They want their adults to pay attention to them. Opting for less helps us to offer full focus to those in front of us. In education, it seems like the remedy is always more, and it can be hard to say no to more seemingly good things. However, I sit in a room full of educators, many whose experience exceeds my own, and I ask you to reflect. How often has more actually yielded more student growth? So we realize there's a need to do and think about less. But there is a second cultural resistance phenomenon that must also occur. Slower. Slower feels irresponsible in a culture that worships productivity. And our digital advancements have made it possible for us to accomplish things faster and faster. We can achieve oodles of things in a 5-minute wait in a Taco Bell drive-thru. There is an unsaid enemy here. Dun, 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 dun. It makes it near impossible to achieve focus and full presence, since it enables us to have divided, pulled apart attention. The actual Greek meaning of the word anxiety. Nicholas Kardaras presented a compilation of research in his 2016 book, Glow Kids, that is not for the faint of heart. Research reports undeniable correlations between screen time and impulsivity, overstimulation, attention problems, anxiety, and depression. Is it any wonder we're suffering as we do when we so willingly engage with the thing that's causing harm? But aren't we glad human brains have plasticity? They can be changed. Notice how it feels to turn your device on Do Not Disturb or completely off versus allowing your attention to be yanked around at a brain-damaging pace. It feels good to funnel your focus solely on one task, deciding to deny all other mental pop-ups. You'll notice a difference in the pace of your thoughts. Well, let's revisit that reading group. What does it look like today? It might look like me and little Reader sitting cross-legged on the carpet, just the two of us. Me listening to them read at their own sweet pace, not simultaneously stapling papers for tomorrow or checking the quick text about the fall fundraiser, but with the solitary task of being present and responsive to them. At the micro school where I now live and learn, one of the joys of my day is playing with my students, taking time for them to show me the crawdad they found or the leaf shaped like a heart. Wonder happens in those moments. In this fast-paced world, our students crave for someone to be slow with them. And in the slowness, connection happens. And connection is necessary for a healthy mind, which is what we pledge to invest in as educators. And we're seeing minds flourish in our space, with academic and behavioral gains to back it up, with less on the proverbial plate, and giving ourselves grace to be slower. We are witnessing growth. Less and slow. That's how we help our students grow. Well, what if your hands are tied? It is infernally frustrating to hear a speech, agree with the concept, and feel powerless to make any kind of change. In education today, there is much out of your control. However, if you slow down and assess, my friends, there are indeed things that you have the power to change. Systematic change happens slowly with intentional, individual choices. I ask you to imagine the balls that you're juggling. Breathe in. As you breathe out, remove a few. Less. I invite you to take out your phone. Turn it on silent. Slower. This enables us to then look at that child, that person. I ask you to stand with me as you see that person in your mind's eye. Now repeat after me. I see you.
I see you.
I hear you.
I hear you.
I have time for you.
I